Yeah, well, hello and welcome to your final Loose Women of the Week. Joining me, Kay Adams, for a quickie 30-minute show. It's Stacey Solomon, Judy Love and Nadia Sawalha. Coming up, we'll be reacting to the video of Tom Hanks rushing to protect his wife after she was nearly knocked over by an overexcited fan and asking, would you always expect your partner to stand up for you? Also, after last night's explosive Love Island, which saw Ekin-Su kiss Jay while still being coupled up with Davide. Is there anything wrong with how she behaved? Nadia is here for that, as they say. And our guest for today is Richard Madeley. And you might be shocked to hear he's been fraternising with another Judy. Yeah, the one sat at this desk. Find out why at 12:45. So, starting today with that video of Hollywood superstar Tom Hanks protecting his wife after they were met with a very enthusiastic group of fans and paparazzi.
I'll bring some items. I bought some items.
How you doing?
It's been a long time.
Be careful, Tom.
Watch out. Move. I don't need my time. It's been a long time, Tom.
Whoa.
Wait.
Stop it!
What are you doing?
Back the
What are y'all doing?
What do you want?
People are crazy, bro.
Knock it over my wife.
Yeah, they're bugging. Sorry, Tom, about that. They're bugging out. These people are...
Come on, man.
Sorry about that, Tom.
Oh,
Wow.
I'm a sucker for that, I have to say.
Oh, the little fan's face, they were mortified. Of course, they didn't mean anything, but at that point, he didn't know. And it's interesting to watch that red mist protectionist that came out in him. But then, you know, he
See, that's
gathered
very
himself and
different
calmed
from
himself down.
Will Smith, which was,
Yeah.
of course, the big talking point that we had before, wasn't it? That I was not comfortable with what Will
Not
Smith
at
did
all.
at all. Whereas that, as you say, was just that instant, my partner is under threat, and so I'm going to react. So
He was terrified. I think he looked really scared for
because
his wife.
he doesn't know. I mean,
Yeah, he
you say
doesn't
the
know what
fan
it is.
looked
Don't know
kind of
what happened.
agitated.
Yeah.
For all in America, could have had a gun.
Oh,
yeah.
Could have had anything.
I think let's be real about one thing. I mean, next year when they're voting for the best sexiest man, I think Tom Hanks is going to be the top. Do you know what I mean? He's gonna be like,
Did you find that sexy
well,
then?
but when he just was like, back up, and was like, we was like, oh, I'm here for this Tom. Okay, I'm your wife for a minute. Like, it was just, it's not the Tom Hanks we're used to seeing, is it? So to see that protective side of him come up for his wife, and he didn't get physical.
But why do
I
we
think his
swoon over that as
tone
women?
alone.
What is it in us that kind of wants
I
that?
think it goes both ways. I think if Tom had got hurt, his wife would have turned around and said, back
Yeah.
up. I think, and I would have found that attractive
Too.
on her part too.
Yeah.
I think it both ways. I think it's that demonstration of love, isn't
Yeah.
it? That demonstration of, I'm not even going to think about anything around me. I'm going to protect the people that I love and always just go straight to defence. It's like a natural instinct.
But would you
almost.
expect Joe to do that of you?
I don't think it's I don't expect it, but it wouldn't surprise me if he did. There's been a couple of occasions, even just when people have verbally said stuff about me and he has not been able to hold it down. And as much as I'll be like, Joe, no, don't say it, in the back of my head, I'm like, go on.
You've pulled.
I love you. Thank you for always fighting my corner. I think the worry for me is that if it goes beyond being able to keep control of it, you just don't want it to turn into a scary situation.
I think that's what made that extra sexy, was that he...
Nobody was saying it was sexy, Nadia.
Judy did.
Don't blame Judy. Don't blame Judy.
He had such a demeanour that he took control of the situation. His voice,
didn't lose
his
himself.
hands, he didn't lose himself.
Yeah.
But in that moment, you knew not to mess around with this man's wife. He made it very clear.
Did you find it sexy?
I found it very sexy.
I can feel it from here.
I mean,
To be fair, Judy finds everything quite sexy.
I just like the way he took control. I mean, I don't know what happened to the security guard, but he took control of the situation. And you know what was nice? The fact that they wasn't even holding hands, but he was just so aware of his wife. And I think that's what we want. We want to feel like we're seen, that we're in their thoughts,
always.
we're
What would you
considered.
be like then, in a similar situation?
Well, if that was my man being pushed out, I'd be like, babes, listen, what's going on? I'd have his back. I'm not one of those girls. I'm one of the ones, because I hate when you see a man end up in an argument or being hurt and the girlfriend's like, oh my God, help my boyfriend. No, you need to help
You're
your
in this
boyfriend.
together.
You just did an impression of me.
Back him up. What's wrong with you? The time you're
You'd
standing
get
there
stuck
crying.
in.
Well, I would try to stop it or try to distract or try to do something.
But then
You
would
don't
your
just stand
partner
there.
say something? Because the other day, Zach came into me in like 3 in the morning, was like, someone's knocking on the window, someone's knocking on the window. So I got up, went downstairs, looked outside. I was like, Zach, there's no one here, no one's...
So what, you didn't say Joe?
You went outside?
Hang on,
so
you went out at 3 o'clock in the
No,
morning.
Stacey, you're acting like those people in the movies, in the horror movies. Where it's like, don't go outside.
And don't go back in the house.
I knew it wasn't anything scary, because why would they knock? They would, like, sneak in, surely.
They might,
Just a little bit.
they might enjoy terrifying you and not...
Stacey, you just take logic too far. Can I just say that?
I just went outside, but then Joe was like, why did you do that? You should have
Yeah,
woke me
he's
up. And
right.
no, he's not.
Yes,
I
he
can
is.
protect my family just as well as Joe.
Oh, no.
I don't come
Come
stay at
on.
my house. I suppose the thing is, they probably wouldn't want you, even though you'd want to try and help them, they wouldn't want you to be in a predicament. I think any of us, your partners, your
I don't want
children,
Joe to get
you
died
don't
by
want
the
them.
Mark's
knocking
got
on the
bigger
window
muscles
either.
than me. I just want him to do that. He's going to be better at it
Really?
than me.
That is so Victorian.
No, but he's got bigger muscles. If somebody's got to
not
fight
got
a
a
man
bigger
out
gob,
in the garden, Mark's
But-
going to do... If he wants a toasted cheese sandwich, then it's me. But if I want somebody wrestled to the floor, then it's him. That's just basic biology.
What about, you know where everything is in your house, you know the best escape routes, I know where all my children are and where I'm going to collect them from. Like, I've been through it a million times. Joe won't have even thought about it.
Wow.
So I feel like, actually, if push comes to shove, I'm on a military operation out of here.
I once used my child as a human shield.
You dropped that in at the end, didn't you? I once used my child as a human shield.
The
They
headline in
still
the
haven't
Sun
forgiven
tomorrow.
me for it. We were in that London experience and it was so terrifying. And it was all like, Mum, can I hold on to the back of you while we go through? Yes, of course, yes, of course. 2 seconds. Peter was fighting off the monsters with my child. It's one of my worst traits is I'm a terrible coward.
You're a terrible coward.
Terrible.
Oh,
my God.
You'll teach him to be resilient.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing it.
Yeah. I'm going to pay someone to break into your house and say, I want a toasty. All right, then.
Me it is.
So another dramatic incident, this time from last night's Love Island. Ekin Sue, we're loving Ekin Sue. She wasted no time in getting up close and personal with one of the newer Islanders, Jay, despite already being coupled up with David Day.
I just want to talk to you more like secret level, so I'm going to go to the terrace.
Oh, all of a sudden you care.
The fact that let me feel sad is that in 1 week you showed me interest, and in less than 24 hours you basically...
I just don't want to talk to you right now.
I've always liked to play with fire.
Oh,
She's very in touch with her masculine
Judy.
Ekin Sue is not playing around, is she?
Well, she is playing around.
Well, look, the thing is, she's come in there from what I've seen, and it's like every time, you know, she's with, oh my gosh, I'm so lovely. Oh, who is that? Her head turns before it turns. Like,
She's in a sweetie shop.
Her head is spinning. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, she's playing the game. She's doing what Love Island does. I think if she wasn't, would it be as entertaining? That's what we want. But then when you actually see it and see it from a woman as well, you're like, man, she's not playing. I mean...
Is there anything wrong with that, though?
Each their own, isn't it? I think you should be able to date a multitude of people and find out who you like, but I think when people's feelings are involved and you're getting physical, it takes it to another level, and that's where the disrespect has come from. All that... Listen, girl, she crawled on the floor to kiss another man. You gone too far, OK? Your knees should not be on the floor to be going to kiss no man, OK? When you got another one downstairs. You're being greedy now. Slow down, girl. Slow down.
I do. I've always found that concept so weird. I think when you're single, why do you even need to, like, do that? I feel like you
What do you mean?
I just don't understand why you need to hide if you're single, because you can say, I'm gonna, if it's okay with you, and I do think you should get consent from other people. If it's okay with you, I'm gonna snog you and see how it goes, but I'm also gonna, like, go around and be with everyone else and then see if that person minds.
I think it's a very generational thing, though, because, like, as soon as... when we were growing up, as soon as we kissed somebody, that was our boyfriend.
Yeah.
And so...
Well, you were in the 1800s, of course, we were just discovered.
but it is strange. It is strange when they say, oh, yeah, but I'm getting to know somebody else, but I'm snogging you and I'm doing this. It's just very odd.
Do you think she gets a kick out of having the two
Yeah, and
on there?
that's what I
It's
don't
getting
like.
massive.
It's
Power.
almost like a
Yeah.
manipulation of other people to make yourself feel a certain way. And I just feel like you're open, you're single, you're free. You have the freedom to do whatever you like and be upfront about it.
Well, even if you're hiding it from the person that's downstairs...
But why are you hiding it?
Yeah.
Because
That's
it's
my
a
question.
gameplay, and the
That's
thing is...
what I'm saying. It's more for her than for anybody else.
And I
Yeah.
think what you have to establish is what is somebody else is getting to know you, because my getting to know you might be like, where are you from? Who are you from? Her getting to know you is, I want to taste what the back of your throat tastes like. Do you know what I'm saying? So everybody's getting to know you is different, and those things need to be clarified at the beginning. However, it is Love Island.
I have to say, though, my daughters are both outraged with the infidelity of it. And they're 19 and 14, and they just think it's absolutely unbelievable.
I was fine with it until, because, you know, it's Love Island, it's a game, why not? But when she started to turn it around very skillfully on Davide and basically made it all of his fault, I thought, well, that's just maybe crossing a line a little bit. You know, I mean, you fancied two guys, you wanted to snog two guys. Fair enough, that's absolutely fine. But don't make it his fault.
Yeah. That's the thing is, I do feel like, is there consideration for other people's feelings? And I know it's Love Island, so I sound like such an old fogey, but I do feel, I don't know, I think it's quite an intense show to be in, and there's a lot of pressure there, and I just think that there has to be some kind of consideration as to how it's going to play out. Also, how she's going to be received on the outside world. Someone in there should be saying, like, you know, actually, do you want that to be...
She's been very upfront right from the beginning. I'm not here to make friends, I'm going to find love, and I'm going to do everything, and she's really enjoyed it.
But Stacey's right, because I think, like, Davide's family or fan page has made a statement about it as well. So it is such a bigger picture about it.
Well, I feel like...
We are there. I tell you who's going to be delighted is Gemma Owen. She'll be saying, you go, girl. Take the heat off of me. After the break, we're going to be chatting to Richard Madeley about teaming up with our Judy for his latest project. Hopefully this doesn't happen.
Finish this with an argument. Oh, goodness gracious. Right. Well, that was... Feel better for that?
Well, we'll try to make sure that Judy doesn't do that straight after the break. Can't promise anything. Welcome back. Richard Madeley will be here in just a few minutes talking about his show with our Judy and why he'll probably never reunite with wife Judy on the telly. But his first competition time, and lines closed today for your chance to win the trip of a lifetime. 7 nights in Disney World, Florida, and £40,000 in the bank. Thank you, Stacey. Here's Toph with the details.
Hello from Star Wars Galaxy's Edge here at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Now, I've got a mega prize to give away that is out of this world.
One lucky winner and up to 4 guests will win a magical holiday to Walt Disney World Resort in Florida for a 7-night stay. We've thought of it all. We'll cover your flights and accommodation and even give you a Disney gift card worth $4,000 to spend whilst you're in the resort. Plus, on top of all of that, we're also throwing in an extra £40,000 in tax-free cash.
So that's the cash and a holiday of a lifetime. Someone out there is guaranteed to win this prize, and it could be you. Fire up those rockets, though, because lines close today at 3 p.m.
For another chance to win, text WIN to 86060. Text costs £2 plus 1 standard network rate message. Go to the website. Entries cost £2. Call 09068 786060. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and phone number to DY22 PO Box 7558 Derby DE10NQ. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close today at 3 p.m. Good luck.
Oh, hey, it's Chewie! I'm going to go and see what he's getting up to.
It's Chewbacca. All right, OK. Just who's that?
It looked like me when I haven't shaved.
I did think Stacey. No. No, he's known as half of one of the greatest TV double acts of all time, but Richard Madeley has found himself sitting on the sofa with a very different Judy. That's right, our very own Judy Love. The pair of them have teamed up on a new show.
I mean, Joey 4... I wasn't convinced.
All that nonsense about the shoes off. It was very theatrical. It was very actressy, I thought.
Why would you wear your shoes in it? I don't. Do you wear your shoes in your house?
I do, yeah.
Sometimes I do,
yes. Yeah.
Here to tell us all about it, please welcome Richard Madeley.
Welcome.
Steady, Judy, steady. Don't jump on him. Don't jump on him.
Does anybody else wear shoes in the house?
No.
I wear shoes in the house.
You do? Good.
Yeah.
No, you're
I
outside
wouldn't
shoes.
worry about it.
Oh, my God.
We all
How
wear
can you
shoes
get
in the
comfy in
house.
shoes? Well, once
The
you get
germs.
Oh, well, once you've been in the house for a while and you're sitting down watching the
How
telly, you
long?
take them 10 minutes, half an hour.
You know, like when you open the door and people immediately start taking their shoes off, I get
No, it's a
panicky. I
bit
don't know
anal.
what's happening.
Well, listen, we've got to get to the programme, but we need to... What's it with you and Shaky? Why did he jump you?
You put your finger on it in his name. Basically, he just arrived, actually, on the scene then, and I'd never heard of him. My briefing notes said that he was Shakin Stevens, and he was happy to be called Shakin, N apostrophe. And so I started the interview. I think he felt a bit upstaged by status quo, to be honest. Anyway, he came on, I called him Shakin, and he said, no, it's Shaky. I said, yeah, well, anyway, I thought he was winding me up. And I said, anyway, Shakin. He said, no, like I say, Rich, it's shaky. I said, no, it's shaking. And he went mad and attacked me. It was my Rob Holomew moment, you know. But we've met many times since. There was no harm.
How old were you there? You looked like a
baby.
boy.
I was at Yorkshire Television. The show was called, get this, Calendar Goes Pop. Oh, Calendar Goes Pop. Because Calendar was the regional title, you know. I was probably about 21, 22.
Still got the good hair, though. Still got the good hair.
Oh. Yeah, you get in there.
Yeah, but not out the egg.
So you spent your life in telly?
Not quite. I started
adult
in
life.
local papers when I was 16. I wrote off. I knew I wanted to be a journalist. My dad was a journalist, and I wrote off to the local newspaper editor when I'd done my GCSEs, my O-levels. I was going to go back and do A-levels, go do a degree, and then maybe get a graduate training scheme on a newspaper. But I wrote to the local paper and said, can I have a summer job, basically? And they wrote back and said, get lost. And then the editor said, but you can come in for 10 minutes for a chat. And I went in, and because Dad had been a reporter, I kind of knew a little bit about it. So I think he thought, oh, he's only 16, but he knows a bit about this. And at the end of the conversation, he said, want to start tomorrow?
Oh,
And I thought he meant for the week. And he said, no, I'm talking about a 3-year apprenticeship. Do you want to start?
Wow.
And so I took to my parents and he said, I need to know tonight. And I decided that night, and I went and got a suit next morning as soon as the shops were open, and I went in and...
And you never regretted that route?
Oh, I was in newspapers for 3 years. I ended up doing shifts on the Nationals, on the dailies. And I learned more in those 3 years than I have learned since. And I use 80% of what I learned before I was 20 in what I do now.
And it led you to Judy Love.
Yeah.
Absolutely, led me to my love.
What on earth's been going on with you two? You've kept this very secret.
You can say we've been doing a great show.
We're hiding in plain sight, basically.
Yeah. Right, OK.
And nobody would guess, you know, so...
And it looks fun. It looks like you're having a lot of fun with this show.
Yeah,
What do you have to do?
It's amazing. I mean, we was on it last season, the first season. This is my house, and you know, it was one of the panelists, and now we've come back and we're in every one of the shows, and it's just a really fun game.
It's like being at a party, isn't it?
You basically have to work out who really owns the house, and you've got these 4 people, and they're all pretending to own the house.
You've got 4 people, all allegedly with the same name. Say you've got 4 rubies, OK?
Yeah.
4 rubies. One of them is actually called Ruby, and it is her house. But the other 3 are liars. They're actors and liars. And we see them in a series of different little videos going around the house. And, for example, the real Ruby would say, that mug was given to me when I was on Loose Women 2 years ago. And one of the others would say, no, I stole it when I was working in makeup in Loose Women, you know. And then they'll all have a different story about it. And they're very convincing, aren't they?
I mean, honestly, there was times where we was adamant this is the real Ruby, for example, and we was wrong.
In fact, we got it wrong more often than right.
Yeah, I think we did, actually.
You pride yourself on being able to spot a lie. You've got all these little techniques and things that you look out for.
Absolutely.
But you
A lot
failed
of people, when they're lying, they do that. They touch their nose. That's a real tell with a lie.
Really?
Yeah, it's a tell. And yeah, because basically I've been a reporter all my life, and I've been in television. I've interviewed a lot of politicians who are not known for telling the truth. You develop techniques for telling when somebody is not being straight. You just do, and you can. It's almost an instinct, but actually it's based on experience. And I thought that would work for me on this show, but it didn't.
There was one
sometimes.
But there was one of the things that we definitely got at first. We was adamant this is a way to spot a liar. Is that someone would give too much information, and there was one particular person that was giving so much information. We was like, that's not your house. And in the end, we was like, oh gosh.
Wow.
Well,
it's a good show,
fun.
isn't it?
Yeah,
It's good fun.
amazing people.
And what does your Judy think of it? Does she critique?
She hasn't seen it yet. I mean, we're both of us, because we were in television for so long. I don't know if you guys watch this show back when you go home. It becomes a bit unhealthy watching yourself on the television. So I prefer to sort of just do it. I mean, that's one of the reasons I like doing live. Just do live, and it's done and it's done. And this one, obviously, is edited and on tape. I haven't quite seen it yet. I glimpsed at it sidelong last week.
You end up picking yourself apart, don't you?
I don't think it's that healthy.
And you can't change it. It's gone.
You can't change it, exactly. It's been and gone.
And Judy never wants to come back to telly.
No, not really. I mean, she tried this show for a while, didn't she?
Yeah,
and she had a great time, but I always say this about Judy. I mean, considering, in my eyes, she was probably the best female TV presenter of her generation.
Oh, yeah,
she was
absolutely.
Amazing. But she never really enjoyed it that much. She enjoyed the job, the process, but all the rubbish that comes along with it, you know, being in the papers and, you know, all of that. And these days, of course, social media, which has transformed it, you know. She never enjoyed that. And she just loves, because she was in telly for 30, 40 years, she loves not being on telly anymore. She doesn't miss it at all, not at all.
It takes such strength of character to say that, because it's the life that everyone tells you that you should want.
You should be pursuing it.
Whereas actually, she's seen it, she's looked at it, she's done it and thought, well, actually, that's not the life that I want, thank you very much.
Exactly.
How's Chloe? She's about to give birth.
She was due on the 5th of August, and they moved it forward to the 7th of August now. She's in France at the moment. She's coming up to 34 weeks, so she's flying back in 3 or 4 days.
Look at you, you're all excited.
Well, it's because she's having a little girl. I don't know why, but we've got two granddaughters up in Manchester, and we've got a grandson in London. But something about your daughter having a little girl, it shouldn't make any difference, but it sort of does.
My dad's so soppy
it.
about my daughters.
Yeah.
It is. It's next level.
Have you been the granddad you thought you'd be? Because you already are a granddad.
I'm granddad 3 times over now. I didn't have any expectations, really.
I bet you're a well-fun granddad, Richard.
Well, I do enjoy it. And every time, before I was a grandparent, every now and again you talk to someone who's just become a grandmother or grandfather, and they tell you how great it is, and they go on about it, and I used to think, well, it can't be that good. But it is. And it's a bit... If you think of your life as a house, and your children are rooms in your house, suddenly having a grandchild, it's like having an extension on the house. You've got a new place to go.
That's a lovely analogy.
You've gone and made us fall in love with you, Richard.
And it's the same for Judy. I mean, we adore it. The old thing about, and then you can give them back. It's absolutely true.
It's the dream.
Oh, well, an exciting summer, that's for sure, lined up. Always lovely to have you with us,
Great
Richard,
pleasure. Lovely
and the other Judy. That is it for today. Next week, yes, I know, we're joined by very Strictly star Dan Walker and the wanted Max George with soap star Maisie Smith. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you then.